Hello, fellow sojourners. Thank you for tuning into the Journey Towards Wholeness. My name is John. Thank you for being a part of my journey, and I hope to be a part of your journey as well here too. We're going to do a quick week in review, show you what happened during this time. We're going to also have a product review. I'm going to show you some of my wellness things that I do and some of the wellness things that my wife does as well. And also, we're going to give tips here on should you be eating out right now at this time on your journey right now as well. So the first thing that I want to cover here is that we went to my mother-in-law's house over Sunday through Tuesday, and it's always kind of an adventure getting down there. It's about an hour and a half drive in a hot car. We only had one of our dogs with us, but still, it's still pretty adventurous trying to get there. Also, during this time going there on Sunday, there was no traffic at all. And if you ever travel between Phoenix and Tucson, you know that all the time is traffic. So with the state of things that are in, that was kind of weird. So this brings up a point. I think that part of our journeys should be at least part of mine, and I think we could incorporate this into everyone's. Part of our wellness journey should be around people that don't always think the same way that we do. I, for myself, am a Christian. I do not know what my mother-in-law is. I'm not going to judge her on her beliefs because that's not my job. My job is to go there and to love on her and to be the best person I can be while I'm there. Also, I am her IT person. It's really hard to try to fix a TV, a computer, a cell phone when someone is calling you, when you don't have that piece of technology in front of you. And that's my job a lot of times with her. And you know, it's okay, because also part of wholeness and part of my wellness is helping out other people when they can't. While I was there, my mother-in-law gave me a huge compliment and told me that my cooking skills have improved since I've gone keto about a year and a half ago, which I think is huge. I'm going to put a picture right here of some of the Brussels sprouts I made. Also, I have pictures of this along with other things that I've eaten throughout the week and prepared on Instagram, and my Instagram account is right here. I was able to stay keto friendly while I was there, and that's not an easy task while you're on vacation, or while you're away from home. So here's my tip. No matter your journey, no matter where you're going, who you're seeing, what you're doing, you're on your journey. And we want to take all the skills that we've learned with us here, if it's the health, if it's the wellness, if it's the mental health, with us wherever we go. And people will be amazed by the progress or the new people that they see in us. So yesterday I had my first chiropractic exam. This was very interesting. He was very thorough. He asked me a lot of questions like what my weight was, what my A1C was at, and of course, because I am on keto, I actually know these things here, which that's something that everyone should have checked out, what their blood looks like, what the insides of them look like here. This really made me think here, because I was under the impression that chiropractors were just for back pain, and I really don't have any back pain. He did say that I did have a couple of areas that were trouble spots though, which I was really interested in. We talked about sleep, digestion, and how all of those are connected to what might be going wrong with my back, which I didn't even realize there was that much going wrong with my back until I thought about it for a few moments. And yeah, I do definitely have sleep issues sometimes. I can wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning sometimes and not go back to sleep, and that could be related to back problems. This made me think here that how everything is connected. Not only is all the body connected, we are all connected to each other. Even though during this time it's harder to be in person with other people, it's still needed to connect to other people, to see what they're doing, to make sure that they're well as well. I think I mentioned this last week that they tell that our cell phones are amazing. We can even call people. I think that's something that we need to do a little bit more often, and actually talk voice to voice instead of texting or emailing someone. I always like to go to Sprouts too, and we did that yesterday, to find new and interesting items, because in this age that we live in, it's just an amazing age, and things are being added all the time that fit into my lifestyle, fit into other people's lifestyles as well. I found this product. It's from Go Raw. It was sprouted flax seeds. Now, I've heard and read that when something is sprouted, it's a lot easier for digestion. I'm going to put a link to this company in my notes when we're done here. So just a couple things here. One, the ingredients were clean, and this is something that you just don't see. You don't see that you can read all of the ingredients on something here. That quite amazed me. Secondly, the taste. The taste was really good. It had a nice crunch. It wasn't a cheese whisk crunch, but it was a nice crunch. Also, too, it kept me full. And the one serving, which one serving is 1/3 of a bag, had about 3 net carbs. Once again, fits into my lifestyle. I think that this is something that I will include in my lifestyle from now on, once in a while. So part of my wellness this week is cooking. I really like to cook, and we'll get into if you should cook all the time or not later on, because that'll be a good segue into what we're actually talking about here. But part of my wellness, part of my keeping my sanity is cooking. I really like to cook. I like to take my time and figure out what ingredients goes with what ingredients here. And this week, I think I perfected making a mug cake. I will put a link to it down below. We'll see who the person is that actually came up with this recipe, because I should not get the credit for it. I just copied that here. So since we're on the subject of wellness, my wife's Katrina's way of staying well and staying sane during this time is crocheting. Our house is full of yarn, and she has a lot of projects that we're working on. We're working on a number of things here that she will be able to sell them. I'll have pictures of them right here. If you like them, please contact me and let me know what you think. I want to take just a moment here and touch on eating out. Okay, so eating out versus cooking in, versus staying in and cooking. You know, I was a kid back in the 80s where we didn't care as much about the ingredients in food, the nutritional value, things like that. Eating out was going to McDonald's, which was part of the reason that I got to the size that I did. Not faulting my childhood in any way. I had a great childhood, but I know that nutritionally it wasn't the best. And it wasn't any fault to my childhood, but it was a fault to the society that we lived in at the time. We live in a different society right now here. So the question that comes to mind here that we should be asking, and sometimes this is on a daily level, is the question is to cook or not to cook. So some of the benefits of cooking at home: you know what you're putting into your food. You know the kind of oils that you're putting in. You know how much sugar, how much artificial sweetener, how much monk fruit, things like that. You know how much protein, you know how much fat. You're going to know all this stuff here right when you're cooking. Another benefit is that it can be cheaper. Let's face facts, it can be expensive to go to eat or order takeout. Also, it's a lot easier to be picky when you actually control what you're putting on your table, what you're putting on your plate, what you're putting in your body. If you're a picky eater and say you don't like steak, which I not sure who would be in that category, but I'm sure there are some, then hey, don't buy that then. There's no dress code. If you don't want to wear pants when you're eating, go for it. When you're eating at home, then that's fine. You don't have to. So if you do follow me on Instagram, you'll see that I do takeout a lot. I have episodes that I get wings a lot. You know that I like takeout. But is it always the best? There's definitely benefits to doing takeout as well here. The first one obviously here is that you don't have to cook. It shows up at your door, it shows up at your table, and you're done. Secondly, it's easier. You don't have to prepare anything. You don't have to think about it, and you're done. If someone messes up on something else, it's their fault. You don't have to take the blame for messing up on something. We have a steakhouse that we went to once that we will never be going to again because it was that bad. I don't like to talk about bad things on this channel. I like to talk about good, positive things. But this is to say that if you mess up, no one can blame you. It's not your fault. Also going to say that it's easier to try new things. I think as adults, as people that are grown up, at least most of us are, physically, maybe not mentally sometimes, I can account for that. It's easier to try new things when you're going out, and we should. We should open up ourselves to new experiences. I remember reading that Greek food is really good on keto. There is no place here in Phoenix that I've tried that has Greek food. Last time, not this time or the time before, that we went to go see my mother-in-law, we went to a Greek restaurant, and I was all for it because it was a different experience. It was something different that I wasn't used to. I think something else that we need to think about is, will it trigger you? If you go to a place that they're going to be serving, say, cheesecake, is cheesecake going to be something that's going to trigger you? Who are you going to go out with? Are those people going to have food items that are going to trigger you into making bad decisions on your journey? Be informed. And honestly, I think this is one of the coolest things that we have going on in this world. When I talked about earlier here that when I was a kid, we weren't informed. It was just the world that we lived in here. Now we can be informed about every place that we go here. So if you are going to go out to eat, make sure that you are informed of what you're going to have. Here's a great example. There are some fast food pizza places that have cauliflower crust. Now, normally you think that cauliflower crust is going to be low in carbs, and it's going to be something that's going to fit into your journey. Not necessarily. If you look at the ingredients, a lot of times they use rice flour. Now, does this make it paleo? Sure. But does it fit into a keto journey? It's not going to fit into my journey because the carbs are still way, way up there here. So we can be informed about every place that we go to eat and anything that we put in our body too. Finally, do you need a break from cooking and do you need to get out? Right now in Arizona, it's kind of a tough time right now here because of the time that we live in here. But there's times that you just need a break from cooking. Also too, here it's summer. It is July 10th and it's hot. I think that we have a heat warning all weekend. So the question rises, do you want to be cooking at this time? Answer would be probably not, because it's just too hot. So really, if you're going out to eat, the answer is really up to you. Or if you're cooking at home, the answer is up to you. What fits into your journey the best here? And I want to hear from you. What are your tips here for staying on track, both mentally, physically, and spiritually? I want to thank you folks, fellow sojourners, for being a part of my journey, for taking your time out to watch my channel here. I'm going to have much more episodes to come here, so just stay tuned. Lots of things are in the work here. I believe that we're going to have a website up here that Katrina's going to be selling some of her stuff. We have a lot of things in work here. So until next time, to the journey.